I've been focused on teaching people how to own their own communities and to not be so focused on renting within a community and becoming owners. As a matter of fact, there were 4 agents from my office that just graduated from the Developers Academy this summer. So now have the information, the resources to go out and actually develop within the communities that they've always lived in. Homeownership and ownership in general gives, any person that owns, it just gives you more credibility.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil, and today I'm joined by someone that I'm looking forward to connecting with, Natalie Carpenter, who has been making serious moves as a real estate managing broker and a coach for realtors. So excited to have you on the show today, Natalie.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're working with your agents and assisting them in their work with investors as well. So let's dive in.
Awesome.
First off, for those not familiar with you and your world yet, can you share what your main focus is?
My main focus is to help agents assist their clients, obviously, to, run a profitable environment, obviously, and one that's very productive. Part of my role is to attract real estate professionals in the residential and commercial world that support the communities that we serve. They sell homes, they sell properties, commercial properties as well as residential, and they sell them to and for people. I help them build their business so that they can attract business, they can attract the buyers and sellers that they need, and then also service them in the way that they need to, whether they're, someone looking for a house for shelter or they're someone looking for an investment. And as you know, investments take on, in the real estate world, they take on so many different roles. You can have a rental that you want to rent out and earn money from. You can fix and flip. You want to fix a property up so that you can put it back on the market. There are just so many different ways you can invest. You might want to invest in having a real estate company, or you might want to invest in having a property management company. But all of those things I have agents to try to figure out, first off, what it is they want to do, and then how to go about getting it done.
Awesome. And what markets are you operating in?
Currently, I'm in Northwest Indiana and in the state of Illinois, primarily in the Chicagoland area. But
Awesome.
I've actually supported agents in the southeast portion of Wisconsin, as well as northeast or northwest, I'm sorry, or No, that would be Southwest Michigan.
Okay, cool.
I still do support some agents in Southwest Michigan too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How did you get started on this journey?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Well, the leadership, well, I'll just, back it up. I decided I wanted to get a real estate license, 35 years ago because I wanted to have enough money to buy furniture. I had a different job. I was in a different industry, and I had kind of reached the ceiling in my earning potential. So I thought, okay, let me do something that I can earn some additional money. So I decided real estate would be my choice. In less than 6 months, I decided that I wanted to pursue my career, a full-time career in real estate. So I quit my job and just dove straight in. And the rest is kind of history. 2 years into within the real estate arena, I was invited to the leadership team and didn't really know exactly what I was getting into at the time, but I knew that I liked helping people and I thought it was an intriguing thing to do. And so I did. And through the next 33 years, if you will, I've had a lot of leadership roles within the same organization. And I've led agents, I've led solopreneurs, I've led teams, I've led residential agents, commercial agents, I've led leadership, managers of real estate offices and regions. And it's just been very interesting. One thing though, and I noticed this last night when I was kind of thinking about the podcast today, most of my leadership roles have been from people asking me to step up. It's never been something that I've just decided, okay, oh yeah, I think I'll take a leadership role in this or I'll try for this. I've always been asked to fill the roles.
Awesome. And what does your current leadership role entail?
So currently I have just about 200 agents that I more or less supervise their activities. I am the one who the states recognize as their managing broker, and they're uh in in Illinois, Indiana, and again there's a few in Southwest Michigan. Um, Basically, I'm responsible for their compliance to make sure that the documents that they're using, the way in which they're working with their clients are, in alignment with what the laws require, as well as the code of ethics within the real estate profession. Um, they come to me for strategy. I help them with their goals and, setting their goals and then help them with business planning to make sure that, they're able to meet their goals. I serve as a coach basically to them, as well as in some cases I serve as a mentor. I'm that guide, that person they rely on if they have a question about something. If there's a negotiation going awry, they can pick up the phone and call me, or they could stop at my office and we can kind of talk through it. I help them with their strategy on, their marketing strategy, how to attract buyers and sellers to them so that, you know, they'll have people to work with and they'll be able to sustain their business.
Yeah, amazing. What have been some of the main keys that you feel most confident and people need the most support in during this time?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Confidence, right now, consumer confidence, given everything that's going on in the economy and in the world, the consumer confidence more or less bleeds into real estate agent confidence too. Having the confidence to be able to connect with their clients in a relationship way is very important because, coming across too transactional to people right now, especially when, prices have gone up and, people are losing jobs and, a lot of different things are going on in the world is, and, people aren't looking for that. They're looking for relationships. Real estate basically is a relationship building business. If you have a relationship, you typically don't have other issues. You have good relationships with people, they want to do business with you. So getting agents to out of the mindset of being transactional and being more relational is that's kind of where I'm spending a lot of my time right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an important distinction to have. What are some of the ways that you are working with investors or supporting your agents to work with investors?
Okay, so um I'll just share with you a few different ways that I've worked with investors. I mean, I've been an investor myself. I've done fix and flips and, identifying, the best properties to purchase, that is going to give me the best return on investment. So I take that and I make sure that the agents that I support know how to do that. They understand what an ARV is and an ROI and, how they relate to working with an investor. We talk about different financing options that are available for investors. And I provide them with education on that. We have a series in my office called Ask the Expert, and I will bring in experts that they need to connect with, or at least need to have information from. And it could be around financing. It could be around um, inspections, code violations. It could be around, municipal codes and different things that are needed when you are working with investment clients. Typically, I would say the average investor that most of my agents are working with is someone that's buying a property that they're either going to rehab and put back on the market, or they want to buy it so that it can generate a monthly income for them. And, being able to identify those properties in the marketplace and understand how to, show the sellers or show the owners how they can, what they will net as a result is key. You have a lot of agents that don't have that background or that experience, and they can end up wasting a lot of time. So that's why I put a lot into my agents from an educational standpoint to understand what the differences are and what an investor is really looking for. What kind of return are they looking for? What are cap rates? If they're trying to buy a commercial property, what's the difference between a 4-unit building that where the owner pays the heat and where the tenants pay their own heat? How does that differ in pricing?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
From community to community. How can you have two properties on the same block that look the same, but be very different in value? And it's typically because of the expenses or, the operating expenses of the property itself. So teaching them that information helps to make them more valuable when they're working with, investor clients. And then, of course, we can get into, some of the larger type of investment properties like, maybe I have some agents that I support that sell large parcels of land, and they sell that land ultimately to builders and developers. Some of them are putting in subdivisions. So there's a lot of different things you need to know about that. Like, is the infrastructure in place? And then if not, what needs to happen? Do you need a soil test? There's so many different things that can come into play in a particular investment situation that agents need to know how to communicate with the investor about it so that they can, save time, save them money. Those are the two things: saving time and saving money, and creating very little inconvenience to the clients.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all important stuff to have discernment over when teaching people and working in the investor realm. So, what are you most focused on solving or scaling next in your business?
So I'm past, okay, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm African American. I'm a Black woman. And I've been that way for a long time. And what I've noticed in a lot of predominantly Black communities is that a lot of the properties that are owned, the investment properties are owned by people that don't necessarily live in the communities. And so I'm a part of an organization called National Association of Real Estate Brokers, which is the oldest trade organization of its kind. It's actually, some people refer to it as the Black organization, but it's not exclusively Black people in the organization. But there are people, our entire philosophy is helping homeownership in the African American communities, increasing those numbers, and being advocates for African Americans. And so I right now, and I guess you could say it's been an undercurrent of everything I've done, is I've been focused on teaching people how to own their own communities and to not be so focused on renting within a community and becoming owners. As a matter of fact, there were 4 agents from my office that just graduated from the Developers Academy that in within NAREB this summer. So 4 real estate agents from this office now have the information, the resources, to go out and actually develop within the communities that they've always lived in and that they, work with, so that they can become more owners and they can present more opportunities. Homeownership and ownership in general gives, any person that owns, it just gives you more credibility in the world, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously you're going to get tax savings, so it increases your ability to have more money and more resources at your fingertips. It also helps to build senses of community. When you're in an area where most of the property is rented, and the owners are off site, they're not as focused on pride of ownership in the communities and creating a community that's synergistic and, vibrant, and, they're just providing housing. And that's pretty much, what their goal is. Because if you're an investor and that's what you're looking for, that's what you're providing. But when you own the property that you live in, or you own the building that you live in, and maybe there's some other tenants that are in there with you, you then have a different pride of ownership. It increases the value of the community, as well as it increases the educational opportunities. Schools perform better when there are owners occupying the properties within that community because then they're not as transient as renters would be. So you're able to attract better teachers and educators and things. It just creates a stronger economy. I mean, even the commercial properties that come in, the retail establishments, they change when it's a community of homeowners versus a community of renters. So I am really focused on elevating communities and underserved communities in that way so that there are more homeowners being created within the communities and building owners and investors.
Yeah, that's an amazing mission that you have. That's really beautiful service that you're doing.
I think it's needed and it's necessary.
Absolutely. What are some of like the action steps that you have to take in order to fulfill this?
Well, basically, I think aligning with organizations like National Association of Real Estate Brokers and some of the larger um, organizations within the community, there is the Greek scene, basically, or what we call the Divine Nine. These are organizations that basically come from a college or university background, and there are nine of them within the African American community, and they're very strong. Um, they have a huge amount of members in there. And then most African American communities they're more faith-based. So there are a lot of churches and there are a lot of people that attend the churches. So reaching out to the churches, reaching out to the organizations like the sororities and the fraternities, and then any other organizations that might be in the area. Um, that's where we start. And we start the conversation. We have community meetings. Um, we invite the public out to understand what is so powerful about being a homeowner? What is so powerful about owning a building or being an investor? We show them how to do it. We align with the lenders and the municipalities that that help. There are municipalities that will help with down payment assistance, and there are programs that are available. So educating myself and my agents on what resources are available to help community members grow and to get more familiar with being homeowners and investors is the first step. Communicating that out to the public and getting them used to that and then actually showing them how it's done. Um, you know, we do a lot of workshops. We had a workshop last year and it was called What to Do with Big Mama's House. Because unfortunately, in a lot of our communities, people are inheriting property and then not realizing that, there's still some financial obligations that have to be met. And when they find out, it's typically so astronomical that it's difficult for them to catch it up. And it makes it much easier to sell it to someone who doesn't live in the community. And then it becomes on the rental rolls again. And then, so then we try to teach them how to make sure that that's protected for generations. Generational wealth is what I'm focused on right now, helping communities and people within those communities really achieve generational wealth.
That's amazing. I love what you're doing. It's very much needed.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, learn more, where can people find you?
People can find me. I'm everywhere. Well, they can find me on Facebook. They can find me on Instagram. They even TikTok, believe it or not. You can find
Nice.
me there. And I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm Natalie Carpenter. And I actually have some podcasts that I've been toying around with. I have to say they're not as consistent as they should be, and they're called Natalie's Nuggets. So I think if you Google Natalie's Nuggets, you could probably find me there. But my phone number, if anybody wants to call me, and I'm an open book. I meet with people from all different companies, different all kinds of places. But my callback number is 773 430-4869. And if they want to email me, they can email me at natalieRcarpenter@yahoo.com.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate your
And
time.
one more.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and if they're a realtor in the Northwest Indiana area, and they're interested in learning more about what I do to support my agents, they can reach out to me at natalie.carpenter@cbexchange.com. That's catboyexchange.com.
Okay, perfect. Well, I really appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I have sincerely enjoyed the opportunity to be here. I appreciate learning all the time, and I appreciate platforms that really help people to learn and, more about our industry and learn more about just life. So thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
of course. And for those tuning into the show, if you got value from this, make sure that you've subscribed. We have more conversations with operators like Natalie who are building real businesses, and we'll see you on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.